Hi guys, welcome to the KitchenSix Podcast. This is Nellie. This is episode 6, and I've been away for a while. So, you can find me as KitchenSix on Ravelry and on YouTube and on Instagram. I haven't been very active lately on anything because for reasons. We'll get into that. So this is a podcast about knitting and sewing and cooking and gardening and me and my life. Sometimes cancer and craziness. So, hi guys. Sorry I've been away so long. I know I mentioned before in either episode 4 or 5 that it was a really crazy cold and flu season. I didn't know how crazy it was actually going to get. So far, since November, I've had bronchitis once, pneumonia once, the flu once, and I've had at least 4 other respiratory illnesses since then. Yeah, it was a little crazy. I'm okay. I'm doing much better. I haven't had to use an inhaler for like 2 weeks. I haven't had a fever for over 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm getting better. But I'm still trying to catch up on all the things that didn't get done while I was really, really ill, as well as things that didn't get done while I was trying to do reconstruction last year. So there's a lot to catch up on, and I feel like I'm trying to cram in a podcast in amidst all of the things that need to get done. But at the same time, I really enjoy talking to you guys. So I'm going to do a little break here because I forgot my coffee, and that was like, I was really looking forward to that. So let me stop right here and I will go get my coffee and I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. I have coffee. My life is complete now. Of course, in my Superman cup, which I love, love, love. All right, where was I? Oh yes. The cold and flu season that should have just never happened. That was terrible. Yeah, okay. So one of the things that was tragic about the pneumonia and the flu and the craziness was I stopped doing pretty much everything. I didn't want to do anything. So I got very little, but none, really. I got almost no knitting done. And pretty much nothing else either. So it's not just the knitting that suffered. But in the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to catch up. I've been trying to clean my house and get the gardens in order because spring arrives whether you're well or not. And so do weeds. And we have a fairly large yard. I'll try to put a video at the end of all the things that I've been doing. It'll probably be like a mashed video of several different areas of my yard. But there's, the flowers need weeding and the vegetables need watering and weeding, and on top of all of the craziness of this spring, last year I was fairly incapable of doing most of that because of some surgeries and multiple surgeries that for reconstruction. That was a whole thing. Yeah. Let me know if you guys want to hear about that. I'll talk about it. It's just most people don't really want to hear about the craziness. So, yeah. So normally here I would go, that just happened, but nothing happened. I finished nothing. Which makes me feel like a really bad knitter, but between the pneumonia and the flu and the inflammation that I've been dealing with, it's been really hard to knit. So I'm still dealing with some carpal tunnel and arthritis stuff in my thumb, which makes it painful, and my hand goes numb when I try to knit. I keep trying to adjust my position, but I haven't figured out just what will make it easier for me to knit. It's getting better. I couldn't knit at all last week, but this week I'm doing a little better and I've managed some. So moving on to the some that I have managed, I did like 6 or 7 rows on the blanket for my mother-in-law. I'm not going to show you because it's literally like just that far, so it just looks like a big, and it doesn't fit on the screen, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, so but I did work on my sock. I got the foot all the way done, and I'm right to the point where I'm going to start the toe. Well, actually, I got past that point, and I was starting on the toe, but I was doing it while we were in the car going somewhere, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was doing it wrong, so I had to rip it out. So, because I was decreasing every round instead of every other round, and it was going to be completely different than the other sock, which, you know, that's the whole reason I'm redoing the sock, is so that they'll match. So I ripped it out again. I know it's a little crazy sometimes, but that's okay. It's my first year of knitting. I'm learning, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, so I'm just about to start the toe, and hopefully today I have it on my list of things to do, finish the toe. I should have time for that. What else? So that's my socks. My a hat for my son, the one that I'm redoing for him. I'm struggling with. Currently, it looks like this. I know. I have a terrible time knitting. I'm really bad at it. I really enjoy it though, so so I just can't get the count right on this, and I don't know if I dropped stitches or I don't know, but I think I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing, which is fine. I mean, it's just stockinette, so it goes really fast, but when you're struggling with your hands, the thought of redoing a whole hat is like, oh. So I haven't quite decided yet. I might just put some increases in to make the count right, or see if I can find where I dropped stitches. I think, oh look, there's one. Huh. Found one. Yeah, so I'll have to like spend a good half an hour to an hour looking at that and figuring out what's wrong with it. But again, it's spring, and it's been in the 70s and 80s here several days in the last couple of weeks. So he probably doesn't need a knit cap right now, so I'm not stressed about getting it finished for him. And then, oh, the Hitofude. I wish that I could work on my Hitofude. The needles are so fine, and the yarn is so fine that it really, really, really hurts my hands. My hands are getting better though, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get to work on it this weekend. We're going to the beach, so this is the only project I'm taking with me, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna work on this when I'm not out on the beach. But you know, I like to build sand castles, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I haven't made any progress. It's still beautiful. I still love it. I still desperately want to make it. I can't, my hands won't work with this fine of stuff yet. They're getting better. And I have my doctor prescribed an anti-inflammatory that might help a lot, so we're going to try that. We'll see if that helps too, at least until I can get to the rheumatologist, which is a whole thing. So that's what I'm working on. That's it for now. It seems like I'm not doing anything, but I really am not doing anything, I guess. Working on that. I'm feeling a lot better, so let's see what else. That's the doing it and doing it well. And then, oh, shiny pretty things. I do have a couple of shiny pretty things, but they are cooking related, not knitting related, because I haven't been knitting. So when I'm not knitting, I don't go buy knitting things. It's weird, I know. So the first thing I have was sent to me by one of my viewers. Her name is Terry, and she contacted me and said that she wanted to send me a book, and could she do that, and could she have my address. So I sent her my address, and she sent me this book. It's called The Easy Vegetarian Kitchen, and it is full of really fun, some really fancy and some really really simple recipes, and I'm really excited to try some of them. The one that I really want to try, well, I'll tell you about it later, but the lady has a website. Her name's Erin Alderson, and the blog that she has is Naturally Ella, if I could actually speak. But yeah, so thank you so much, Terry, for sending it. I'm really excited to try it. And yeah, the other book that I have is one that I bought for myself because I'd been looking at it for a while and I needed something to cheer me up. It's called Whole Bowls, and it's by Allison Day. She's the creator of YummyBeat.com, and it's basically like the one bowl meal. You just pile a bunch of stuff in a bowl and that's your meal, which that's what I do most of the time anyway when I'm here by myself. I just put a bunch of salad and whatever and chop a bunch of vegetables and throw those in there. So having it designed and flavorful like this sounds like fun to me. So, but there's a couple of things in here I want to try, and the first thing I'm going to try I'm going to talk about in just a second. Where's my notes? My notes. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. It's been so long since I did this. Okay, so, oh, the other thing that I'm doing, I don't really like talking about diets and fitness plans and goals on social media at all, and I hesitate to talk about it here, just because I feel like so many people put it out there and then feel pressured, and I'm not pressured. Well, I am pressured, but not by you guys. So I'll share. Okay, so one of the things that they have linked very strongly to cancer recurrence is body weight. If you are overweight, then you have a much higher reoccurrence rate for most types of cancer. So fat equals more cancer. That's the bottom line. They've noticed that the thinner you are following treatments, and the less fat you have on your body following treatments, the higher chances you have of surviving long term. So one of the things that I've been working at for a while, and I was doing this last fall before all the illnesses started, was fixing my diet and fixing my my health and fitness routine so that I can lose the weight that I gained during chemo and lose the weight that I've gained during the thyroid issues that I've been having for the last 8 years. So, which it takes some serious dedication to do that. So, I'm using this to help me. It's called Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle. Basically, it's a nutrition manual, which it's very helpful. A lot of it I already knew. I just needed a reminder. But there's been some stuff in there that's been very helpful, and he has some quotes and information that just you don't think about on a regular basis. Basically makes it really easy to follow a simple plan and breaks it down for you so that, yeah. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to the gym. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing and doing well. So also, I have a ponytail. Now, if you've ever lost all of your hair, you understand how exciting it is that I have a ponytail. If you haven't lost all your hair, you probably think, yeah, whatever, it's a ponytail. I was bald, like completely bald. Just like, I looked like, who's that guy on The Hobbit, the Schmeagol or whatever. That's what I looked like. It was terrible. And I am so excited that my hair is long enough to put up in a ponytail now for my workouts. It makes me feel like I'm getting back to normal. Yeah. I don't know why that is a thing, but that's a thing for me. So you guys get to hear about it. Let's see. And then it's a really short podcast because there's seriously nothing to show you guys. So what's cooking? Well, for knitting wise, when I finish my sock, which should be either today or tomorrow, I'm going to cast on the socks for my husband in that pretty gray yarn that I showed you before. And hopefully I will have progress on that to show you next time. Not next week, but the week after. And then when I finish my son's spaghetti currently, I'm going to cast on a hat for my father-in-law again. I cast one on before, but something about it just wasn't working. I didn't like the needle size or something. I don't know. So I ripped it out. I'm going to do it again. I do a lot of ripping out. It's a thing. I'll be a better knitter someday. Now I'm just sort of a mediocre knitter with enthusiasm. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with me today. Maybe I've had not enough coffee. Okay, so, what's cooking? So that's for knitting cooking. The other thing that's cooking, things that we're trying this week from our new books. Black bean tacos. So, there, you can see the picture really good. So black bean tacos, but we're gonna do the butternut squash variation. Actually, I'm contemplating, instead of using butternut squash, using sweet potatoes. So basically, you cook the beans with some spices. Here it has black beans and garlic, lime juice, and cumin and coriander, which pretty simple, right? And then it wants you to add avocados and butternut squash and cilantro. And for the butternut squash harissa, it's they want one red bell pepper, some chipotle and adobo sauce, fresh cilantro, garlic, cumin, coriander, and about 3 cups of butternut squash, which I may sub sweet potato for, just because I don't know how easy it'll be to find fresh butternut right now, but sweet potato should be doable. And then some red onion, and you just put that on top of basically you use it like the salsa. Instead of like a regular salsa, you would put this butternut or sweet potato harissa on it, and it looks really delicious. Like, I want to eat it right now. So I'm going to try that. I'll probably do that on Saturday at the beach. I'll probably make it ahead on Friday. That's what I do when we go camping or to the beach. I make a bunch of stuff ahead, and then like I put it in the freezer until it's frozen, and then I put it in the cooler so that it's already frozen and it works like ice. I know. I was shocked the first time I thought of that. I was like, why didn't I think of this before? Alright, so, and the next thing that I want to try, and it's probably going to go on the menu for probably Friday, because it's a nice, quick, easy, if I make ahead most of it. It's called Forest Bowls with wild rice mushrooms and roasted garlic coconut gravy. Let that sink in. Oh my gosh. I am super excited about that. It sounds so good. Especially on mushrooms. Oh. Anyway, so it's basically it's greens with wild rice, some nicely cooked wild rice, with some raisins and or cranberries, and then for the garlic, it's one head of garlic halved crosswise, and then some arrowroot flour, a full can of coconut milk, extra virgin olive oil, apple cider vinegar, just a little bit, sea salt and thyme. So simple, sounds so amazing. I really, really I'm so glad she thought of this, because I would have never thought of that. And then for the mushrooms and stuff, it wants you
It wants 2 cups of cooked chickpeas because chickpeas, and then it wants kale for the greens. But I don't think you cook the greens. I think you just put the hot stuff on the greens. Oh no, it does want you to cook the kale. So it wants you to cook the kale just a little bit with the chickpeas, just saute for like a couple of minutes until it's wilted. And then the green beans, the mushrooms, sorry, not green beans. The mushrooms are cooked, sauteed until tender. But it wants like creminis and buttons and shiitakes and just like a whole mixture of mushrooms, which sounds amazing to me because I love the flavor of all the different mushrooms. There's so many different flavors that you can get. So I'm really excited about that one. That was probably a lot of words for what really wasn't that complicated. Hi guys. I'm sorry you get a crazy, weird, scattered, short podcast, but I podcasted. So, and I didn't cough the whole time, which kind of a big deal right now. Really big deal. Yeah. So let me know what's going on in your lives. If you, you can catch me on Instagram, and I will be sure to get posting on that and because I got out of the habit of all of those things because it's been a couple of months, really. That's what happens. So yeah, I will get to posting on there, and you guys can contact me on Instagram or on Ravelry, or you can leave comments on the YouTube. I will check those as well. So let me know how you guys are doing, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. This time I really will see you in 2 weeks, I swear. Barring pneumonia again. But yeah, that shouldn't happen. Let's hope. Yeah. Okay, bye guys. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my gardens. You can see some of it behind me, but that's the good part. So let me show you. Sorry, there's a truck going by. Of course, when I'm trying to video, right? Okay, so let me show you what it looked like before I started with the weeding that I've been doing for like the last 2 weeks, which is craziness. All right, ready? Okay, so that is supposed to be an ornamental flower garden. You can see I have lilies and a rose. There's supposed to be other stuff in there. Good luck finding it. So that's what it looked like before I started weeding. Because nobody took care of my gardens but me, apparently. So I started weeding, and this is what it's starting to look like. There's some phlox, there's a willow bush, and a dead bush that apparently didn't like the not weeding. We have a couple of other lovely bushes, and that's it for the back. And I'll show you the front. Okay, so this is the front. This section wasn't as bad. There were some weeds, but not nearly as many. Until you get to about here, and then it was nothing but grass and craziness. And now it's clean, beautiful, with a couple of things. I still have some weeds that I'm gonna need to pull, but it's doing so much better and it looks so much nicer. And everything's blooming because it's spring. All right, the last thing I wanted to show you guys was my produce beds. These were covered in grass and weeds as well. I had to clean them out before I could plant anything this year because they were really bad too. So we've got cucumbers in the back, tomatoes in the middle, some peppers up front, and some squash that's going to hang over this edge. And then we've got more tomatoes, more cucumbers in the back, some carrots and lettuce, and looks like spinach, and some, these are pumpkins from here. My kids are very excited about those. More tomatoes, snow peas in the back, squash along the side, and beans in the center. And then these are blueberries and strawberries. And if you look, they're almost ripe. Well, one of them is. Okay, so, and then the last thing that we've got, which these suffered a lot when they weren't being taken care of, were the raspberries. Some of them are actually going to give us some raspberries this year. If you can see, there's some berries starting there. So, that's my gardens. I hope you enjoyed the show. Happy knitting, guys.